Before 1915, British rule in India relied on an ingrained habit of obedience. For decades, the sheer scale of colonial authority convinced millions that even the smallest act of defiance would lead to certain ruin. When Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi returned from South Africa, he brought a specific strategy to break that cycle of fear. Western observers often labeled his approach passive resistance, viewing it as a tactic for those too weak to take up arms. Gandhi viewed it differently. He coined the term Satyagraha by fusing two Sanskrit roots, Satya meaning truth, and Agraha meaning firmness. This truth force was an active, disciplined refusal to cooperate with anything seen as unjust. He used this method to rebuild the confidence of a people, targeting the underlying fear that made colonial rule possible. In 1917, peasants in Champaran, Bihar were trapped by the Tinkathia system. This law forced them to grow indigo on a portion of their land and sell it to British planters at fixed, exploitative prices. When Gandhi arrived to investigate, the British administration ordered him to leave the district immediately. He offered a polite, firm refusal, stating he was prepared to face prison for his defiance. The administration, unable to intimidate someone who welcomed arrest, eventually yielded. They formed an inquiry committee that led to the total abolition of the Tinkathia system. Watching a leader refuse to bow to imperial magistrates without raising a weapon gave the farmers a sense of personal agency they had never experienced. In 1918, the Kheda district of Gujarat faced total crop failure. Despite the famine, the colonial government demanded full tax payments and threatened to seize the farmers' land and livestock. Gandhi countered this with the law of suffering. He organized the farmers to refuse payment and joyfully accept the confiscation of their property. By refusing to lash out in anger or surrender in fear, they broke the state's cycle of coercion. The government was forced to yield because their primary weapon, intimidation, failed to extract compliance from a population that no longer feared the consequences. Through this sacrifice, the farmers discovered a form of strength that taxes and arrests could not touch. Later that year, in the mills of Ahmedabad, exploited workers went on strike for fair wages. As the strike dragged into its third week, hunger began to erode their morale. To galvanize the strikers, Gandhi began a fast unto death, the most extreme application of Satyagraha. This wasn't a move to blackmail the mill owners, but a way to awaken their conscience while uniting the divided workers through his own self-suffering. In 4 days, the owners agreed to a 35% wage increase. The strike demonstrated that the goal of truth force is to reach the opponent's conscience, turning a conflict into a resolution. Champaran, Kheda, and Ahmedabad served as the psychological training grounds for the Indian masses. In these 3 local conflicts, the people learned how to stand their ground. These victories provided the blueprint for the nationwide non-cooperation and civil disobedience movements that soon followed. The balance of power shifted. While the empire still held the institutions of law and punishment, it could no longer control a population that had collectively decided to stop obeying. These early victories showed that when a people stands firmly in their truth, the machinery of oppression loses its grip. Real change began not with a weapon, but with the simple, unbreakable courage to say no.